Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M44, it's the Tier 6 American SPG, and this one's located on the east spawn of Sand River under the command of Fury 666.
Time to roll out.
Battle has commenced. He's not moving yet, but oh, game's off. Okay. Well, he's headed off to the a bit further south to find his firing position. Now it's based on the Walker Bulldog chassis. It's the M41. It's got a 155mm howitzer mounted in a swivel mount, which you can see if you look from above. And that gives it a very wide field of fire, and Fury is actually extending his range to look for the enemy. Now we'll have to teach him a trick, because there is a trick you can use which can take you directly to where you want to see straight away without having to scroll the mouse. Okay, he's looking at the IKV-65. Can you get a shot on that? Oh, there's an even nicer target there. It's a Wizzy 131 GFT. Rounds out. Long time to fly, but it's a near miss. 165 hit points. 17.49 seconds is the reload time. He's not using premium consumables. That does actually help the reload time dramatically. You could drop that for by about a second. He fires at the Scorpion and gets a splash hit on him too for 136. Now he carries 36 rounds of ammunition, all standard HE. And you can dial in on targets fairly quickly. It's one of the things that makes the M44 so much fun. It's the fast reload and the fast aiming. Now, working out where the T-29 is going to be. Rounds out. He's stationary. Oh, and the shell lands short, but it still stuns him. And he's decided partially to go up that ramp. Or is he stopped for... No, he's just sitting there thinking about what he's going to do next. At the back of the map, we've got a KV-2. And I'm not sure that is the derp gun, the 152mm gun. That looks as if it was a direct hit. I think his gun was the much longer one, the 107mm gun. There's that IKV-65 again. We're reloaded, but he's moving, so you need to anticipate how fast he's moving and work out where he's traveling, and then aim ahead of that point. But instead, Fury has decided he's going to go back to that KV-2. Rounds out, should hit him. It does! 216 hit points that time. And always useful to mark your targets to let your teammates know what you're looking at. That way they can work out how to avoid targets you're about to hit. T-29 dialed in, rounds out, it should hit. Splashes for 65, RNG said no, and the shell landed just to one side of the T-29, but it was perfectly lined up, and the T-29's been wiped out by our T-54 Mob 1. And we're loaded again. And there's a T-52 who's managed to sneak into the near our cap area. I'm not sure that Fury's aware of that on the mini-map. It's showing, but he's fired this group of tanks over here, and he splashed the Wizzy 131 GFT. Now, potentially, that T-52 could be reporting back to the enemy, Arty, where we are. But he's not a problem for Fury 666 at the moment. But these tanks, oh, lovely hit there. Hit both of them together. He got 214 off the 131 and 46 off the KV-2. And we've lost sight of them, but the 65, the IKV-65 is still in sight. We're loaded. We're going to move away. Got to remember that it's 2.9 seconds flight time. And he's killed him! He splashed him to death. It was a blind kill as well. Okay, KV-2's next. That T-52 is still being a bit of a problem. He keeps popping up, spotting for his team, and then disappearing again. KV-2. And it lands short Even though it was properly aimed in, RNG still said no, and it landed short. And there's that Wizzy 131 again. Lining up a shot. Almost ready to shoot. Rounds out. Oh, it fell between the middle of them. And that VK2801's giving him a lot of trouble, but I don't think he'll continue doing that for much longer. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. The KV2 does have the dirt gun after all, and he just finished off that VK just like that. So, Fury's looking to decide which one he's going to hit. He goes for the Wizzy 131. I think he was actually aiming for the KV2, but he hit the Wizzy 131 nicely. And we've lost sight of them. But we've got teammates homing in. So it's only going to be a second or so. And the Wizzy 131's being killed by a T-54. We fired at the KV2. Just missed him. It went long. But he's been killed. Now, surprisingly, the scores are fairly even at the moment. But I think that Fury 666 has now realised there are two enemy tanks near our cap area. A T-52 and another one, which I think is a T-44. I do hope it's not the... or it can't be the T-32. No, it's there's the T-32. He's at the other end of the map. And we've just lost our A-43. We fire around in at T-32. Looks good, but it's... oh, just fell to one side of him. Now, we've lost all our spotters at that end of the map now, so it's going to be very difficult for us to hit them, except by guessing where they are. And that's probably not a good idea to waste ammo, but Fury's still looking for any sign of the enemy moving about, and they've spotted the IKV-90B. Swedish Tier 7 tank destroyer, dialing in, ready to go. Rounds out. Should be a direct hit. Oh, and RNG says no again, and the shell lands well away from the target. Okay, he's scrolling the aim out again. We'll have to teach him how to do that trick where you can go directly to what you want to look at without having to scroll. Rounds out on the T-32. Near miss splash for 14 hit points. Gone back to that IKV, which is a bad threat for the OHO. We're almost ready to shoot. Now he's taken his aim away. I would have gone and kept on that IKV because we know generally where he is. And the T-32 just got, well, the OHO derped him but missed him. And that's a round from our fellow Arty. Going to try and get a shot on that T-32. He's over a ridgeline, that's why it's difficult to hit him. We're almost loaded. Rounds out straight away. Oh, he's pulled away from the spot, but he was stunned, and he got rid of the stun using his first aid kit. So that means his first aid kit's on cooldown. And he fires at the OHO and misses. Now we're almost loaded. Okay, we're ready to go. If he fires now, we fired, he's pulled back into the line of fire, and that's 173 hit points from a near miss splash. And it looks like it tracked him on one side. We're almost loaded. Okay, line him up. Round out now. It's going to miss. Yep. Only stun. And that T-52, who's being a bit of a nuisance, is now in the cap. And he's actually trying to attack that OHO. But the OHO derps him. So he's gone. But there's still that T-44 just north of the cap area. Fury 666 scrolls the aim over to the other side of the map. Lining up a shot on the T-32 who's retreating. And he's gone. Oh, and the round's out. And it's very close to the SU-122-44. We almost hit our own teammate. Okay, going back to the IKV-90. I think he's somewhere up there still. I would certainly fire in a harassing shot. We've got 15 rounds of ammo, and there's still 5 minutes left on the game. I think it's a fair bet that he will be looking out. There he is. Yep, I'm sure he was looking out. Rounds out. It's actually the SU-100, not the IKV-90. Okay, there's 5 minutes left in the game. Lining up a shot on the SU-100. Oh, and he's pulled forward, so all we did is stun him there. But we have picked up some stun assist off that anyway. And we're almost ready to shoot again. He's going to have to look through that gap in order to shoot at those tanks. We fire a round in and... yes, get a direct hit on him. Now there's a VK3601H, and that looks like he's at the spawn point, but he is actually moving his barrel, so he's not AFK. He's just trying to make up his mind where he was going to go. We fired a round in the last known position, but he was moving, so I was pretty certain he wouldn't be there. But the SU-100's been killed. And our team is now moving forward towards that those heights. We still don't know where the IKV-90 is. There's the VK. He's out looking through those lookouts next to his cap. And he started engaging our team. We fire a round in. And it's a kill shot. 3601H was wiped out. That was 188 hit points and our second kill. But we lost the Oho. And he was killed by the IKV-90. So he's still there. He's still up in those heights area, overlooking the enemy cap area. Well, there's still 6 on our team, 5 on the enemy team, and we've only got 3 minutes and 15 seconds now. So something's going to have to move. Now, IKV-90B is actually sitting in the south end of the map in grid square K3, and he's not really contributing to the game there. You can't really see that far into the valley. You can probably just see the riverbed and the town, but he's not doing much good. And I would say about this position, just a comment for Fury 666, this is one of the most well-known Arty firing spots, and the enemy Arty hasn't tried to counter battery you yet, but that's mainly because he's an FV304 and he's got a short range. But it's not advisable to stay in that position because it's the first place that anyone will look if they're looking for tracer. Okay, well, we're looking in the spot where some of the enemy RT go, but I don't think the FV304 is going to be there. I think he's probably going to be north of the riverbed. And they're surrounding the IKV-90 now, or the position the IKV-90 was in. And they're looking for him. They found the enemy Scorpion B. I'm scrolling along to try and get a shot on him. Lining up a shot, work out where he's going to be. Rounds out. It's not going to hit him. Didn't give enough lead. Scorpion was moving too quickly. But he can hit him now because he's stationary. And we know where the IKV-90 is now. He's actually north of the riverbed. And the SU-130 is headed towards him. There's only 1 minute 25 seconds left on the clock, and there are still 5 enemy out there. Well, one of our guys went into the enemy cap, but I don't think he can stay there because the Scorpion G's got second thoughts about that. We fire a round in at the Scorpion G, and yes, direct hit, 507 hit points of damage. And the Scorpion G is dead. But there are still 4 enemies out there, and that's the last minute hooter. Got the T-44 suddenly appeared, and the OI was defending the cap. Has put a shot into him, but so did Fury 666 and took him out. That's his 3rd kill. Now there's the IKV-90. Can we get a hit into him? Well, the SU-130's there. Lined up a shot, work out ahead of where he's going. Unfortunately, oh, went straight into the shell. 505 hit points there. It was a good shot. And the IKV is dead. The OI kills him. And the SU-130 has just killed the VK-3001D, which means there's only one enemy left with 10 seconds on the clock, and it's the FV-304. And as we know, it's a very tiny Arty, so he could be running anywhere around the map because it's the fastest Arty in the game, and the clock's run out, and it is a draw. There's really no chance of them finding him, so oh dear. It's a draw. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's an ace tanker for Fury 666 in the M44. In fact, it's the first ace tanker he's ever had in the M44. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 22. He got a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points for his own vehicle. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle, and he also picked up a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else, at least 6 tanks subsequently taken down by other teammates. And the win rate for the game was 7-3-4-4, so it's Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look and see exactly how he got on the team score. Well, there you go, right at the top of the table, 2,984 hit points of damage. The SU-130 came in with 2,118, and then the next highest scorer was the Challenger with 1,749. In fact, Fury 666's team actually did the best in terms of damage. It was just that FV-304, which we just couldn't get hold of at the end. And when it came to kills, he did get the highest number of kills. He got 3. The next highest scorer was 2. And from a number of tanks. And when it came to base XP, again, he's got a clean sweep at the top of the table. He got 849 base experience points. The Challenger got 475, and the SU-130 PM managed 435. The highest scorer on the enemy team was their T-3485, who managed 407 base experience points. Well, Fury 666 fired 30 rounds during that game, so he had some spare. He got 7 direct hits and 2 penetrations, and splash damage on 23. Damage of 2,984 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Even the close one that was done on that T-44, who were trying to attack the cap at the last few minutes of the game. He damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 3, so there was a big 8 difference there between what he hit and what he killed, and that's why he got the Confederate. And he also did damage assistance of 293 hit points and stun assistance of 1,339 of 22 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 58,802 credits, got 45,015 for completing the mission and events, and 5,507 for courageous resistance. That equalises his score with that of the winning team, if he was a winning team, because this is a draw after all. So it boosts his score back up a bit, and he actually received 109,323 for the game. And after ammunition resupply and the 155mm rounds are fairly cheap, he actually received or took away 94,173 credits. He received 5 bonds for getting all those medals at the end, the Gore's medal, the high caliber and the Confederate. And he also earned 1,273 XP, 738 for courageous resistance, and also 1,409 for completing the mission and events. So his total came to 3,420 experience points altogether. So a pretty good battle there. A shame that it was a draw. It was a lot of kills in the last minute of the game also. Just about everybody who was on the enemy team was found, except for that FV-304. And we just didn't know where he went. But he did do some damage, so he was around. He got 1,230 hit points of damage overall, and he did get a kill. More unfortunate that we just couldn't find him at the end, and I think he probably ran away to hide, knowing full well that if the team were unable to cap in time, then of course it would be a draw. So, bit unfortunate about the draw, but still an ace tanker, and you can be happy with that and the medals you managed to get. So, congratulations to Fury 666. If you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.